Welcome to A&D, where we add and never divide. I'm your girl, Jenna, downtown German. Join me on the quest to find true love, getting advice from my friends and family on love, happiness, and self-worth. So tune in. This should be fun. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is K6. I am a radio personality / entertainer, social network butterfly. You know, you can actually find me on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, all social media. You can look up K6 Studios, you'll find me, or just K6. That is spelled out Kaysix 6. You can space them, and you can Google me.
Hey, let's talk about what we're here for, though.
Okay.
All right. So I have only known you for a couple of months. Well, no, I take that back. A couple of weeks.
No, it's actually been a couple of months.
Okay.
A couple of months.
What, two?
2 months. Yeah.
Okay, 2 months. And you know a lot about me. We talk.
Right.
On the phone for hours. So you got a sense of who I am and,
Right.
you know, stuff that I'm looking for. So let me ask you this. Why do you think I'm single?
I think you're single, not so much finding yourself. I think the reason that you're single, a lot of questions based off who you are and what you want in your life. And you got a standard. And I think a lot of the people that you meet are not to that standard or at that plateau of individual, as in career-wise or mentality-wise, that is up to your standards. That's one issue, I think, why you're single. And I'm not saying once to lower your standard, but it's just being able to meet those individuals that has those likes more so than dislikes.
Okay. So what advice would you tell me going forth then, since...
The advice that I can actually give you going forward, trying to find the individual for you, is just be true to yourself, and don't be indecisive on what you want. You know what I mean? Don't allow anything to affect your judgment. You know what I mean? Whatever your gut tells you, or your woman tuition. You know how they say women tuition is everything. You know what I mean? Allow that as well on top of your thinking process on if this individual is the right one for you.
I get that, but I guess my problem would be that I do overthink. Mm-hmm. So, like, I might read in too much into a text, or I might read into too much of what he's saying. How do I decipher? Like, is it just me wanting something so bad that I'm building it up and it's nothing there, or how do I
think what you have to do is, number one, when you read into those texts, you have to come back with true honesty of asking those questions. Don't soften it. One thing about men like to be told directly what's going on or how you feel. And I think a lot of women sleep on that process. 90% of men want you to tell them how you feel about a certain situation. How else can they correct it? You know how they say, no offense though, how they say women are difficult creatures to understand. And for men, that's true. We feel that you guys are so difficult that we won't want to make those mistakes. So if you get a text that seems confusing, it's okay to say, look, I'm not getting this text. What are you trying to say? You know what I mean? And a lot of times that's our mistake as human beings, individuals. We lose that true connection through text instead of trying to have those phone conversations or meet up for coffee or tea or whatever your brunch idea is, communicating to.
Okay, so you saying basically when I start dating, I should pretty much talk on the phone more than I text? Is that the advice you want to give me?
The advice is you want to be more personal with an individual than text. Text is not personal. So I recommend, yes, talking on the phone more. I mean, guys are not big Speller guys, not unless you find a guy who went into a speller bee. Guys not big on, oh, let me text all this. First thing a guy see when he sees a text, oh, bro, she texts me. Okay, and a lot of times women will do a whole book. Guys skip over texts. If you ever watch a guy communicate with another guy, hey, what's up? Not much. Yo, what you got going on? At Jay's. You get what I'm saying? But when it's short.
Okay.
And a lot of guys, if you a manly man, you know, no offense to what I'm saying, but if you're a manly man, you'd rather communicate with a female over the phone. That's so they can better feel who you are and better, you know, really get a sense. And sound is a sense. You know what I mean? It's a sense that you receive through your eardrums. And you can actually get a sense of a person if their honesty or how they feeling or if they even feeling you.
All right. So should I take offense if that person don't want to talk on the phone and just say, oh, well, I'm more like a text person. Should I take offense to it?
I think you shouldn't take offense to it,
Okay.
but I think that should bring up questions. You know what I mean? Constantly people are getting catfished. Constantly people are being lied to, deceived, or so forth. We got to be mindful that we're living in a real world of morality. You know what I mean? Some people want to honor their morality. Some people don't care anything about morality. You know what I mean? And if it's something that's real questionable, oh, all you want to do is text? To me, that's suspicious, especially for men. And being an old school young man back in the days, if I ain't want to do nothing but text, that was because I had something up the sleeve or I had somebody next to me. And all I was going to do is text you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. So, my last show, I had a lady on named Deborah, and we talked about relationship and basically self-love.
Right.
So on that last episode, I brought up a guy that I was talking to. Mm-hmm. All right, and I call him Chipotle because I never say a person's real name. So just an update on that. Since then, I hung out a couple of times with him.
Okay.
It's still pretty much the same. I still don't know no new information. I don't know. I mean, I guess I know, but too scared to ask the question if it's more than just friends. What advice you would give me? Because now it's like months. Like we're looking at about 4 or 5 months, and it's still like up in the air.
So here's my advice, and this is a man's advice, understanding a man's world. My advice is men know what they want. If a man really, truly desires a woman and wants a woman to be around, he'll make it known. I don't care what it is, who it is, how it is. Any man, every man, I don't care if it's a gay man, shows their desire of the individual they want in their lifetime or want in their life or want to be part of or want them more part of the world. If a man is bringing you along and not allowing you to really enter their world and it's only brief moments, that's somebody at that point that's not looking for anything serious. And they're not looking for anyone to have a serious relationship with. You got to be honest with yourself and be able to ask that question. Hey, I mean, the truth hurts sometimes, but sometimes we have to ask those difficult questions to get the answers we want. Because you know what they say, out of sight, out of mind. If he never brought it up, he never will bring it up. And it's only been 4 or 5 months. Why bring it up? He's having fun.
Okay. That was rough. But I'll take that. That. And you're right. And I think it is that. I think it is. And I know it is. I just don't want to admit that. So if I'm feeling that it is that, and I'm scared to ask that, what do I do to like feel that in me, like self-confidence or just the fact that I know I need to move on? What do I need to tell myself?
Who do you love more? Do you love the situation more or do you love yourself more?
I love myself more.
Right. And you love yourself more and not that situation. You know what I'm saying? And that situation is not showing you self-love. So once again, you ask yourself every day, what do I love more? Do I love the situation or myself? As an individual, by me loving myself, just knowing you, I know you got kids and stuff like that. We as parents are prime examples to our kids of self-love, or what love should look like in a way. Who do you love more, and what would you want your kids to see more? Self-love or a situation like that? That's how you ask yourself.
Okay. But I will say this, since I met Chipotle, it's like I've been kind of battling myself like, okay, well maybe this could be just like a fantasy, fun time, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm starting to like go back to like, oh well, I have been in like serious relationships all my life. Maybe this could be just like a fun thing. Like if I can put a name on it, I don't know, like what is that? Like
It's fun. You're enjoying life. And here's what I say. If you feel that you enjoy life, enjoy life. You know what I mean? If that's what's really making you feel good about yourself and is part of your self-love or self-healing, enjoy life. But if you truly don't feel self-healing from that, then you need to step back from that. That's my opinion, that you need to step back from that. Some people, for example, me, I did that for a long time. Me allowing people into my life that really I knew, I question myself and say, are they for me? Are they not for me? You know what? I really want this relationship. And I go back and forth and I allow them to keep entering in my life. And right when I get to that point of healing, they come back into my life and slow me right back down. It wasn't until I decided to say, you know what? I need to let this go if I'm going to heal and be able to move on so I can love myself and find that individual that can love me as I can love them as well. You know what I mean? And it's true. It's cliche when they say you must love yourself first, but it works. It works. I'm happy with life. I love life. I'm not disappointed with my life. I'm patient. No regrets. Everything that I do, right or wrong, is all a allegory for self-learning experience and a testimony for those that I surround myself with.
how did you get to that? Like you just woke up and it's like, oh, this is it. I'm not gonna answer the phone for this person no more. like tell me, I need to know that little part of it.
I got like that about 5 years ago. It came to a point to where I had to make a decision. I got kids as well. I had to make a decision because as much as you think you can hide your emotions from them, kids can sense things. It's like a sixth sense. And if you ever seen that movie, Sixth Sense,
Oh my God.
if you ever seen that movie, Sixth Sense, yeah, it's a scary movie. But there's a point that they had a kid that had the Sixth Sense. Kids sense a lot of things. Kids can sense, your spiritual energy. Regardless, you may put on a smile, but your child can sense that. And I had to say, you know what? I don't need to just change for myself. I need to change for my kid and show them that you can have this great life and happiness to come to you as long as you are happy with yourself. And 5 years ago, it was a process. I have a mantra that I say constantly. You know what I mean? It's a little prayer that I say, and I say it every morning and, get me through the day. And I want to be better than when I was yesterday. I don't want to be perfect, but I want to be perfect to myself. I want to be the vision that God saw a man to be in me, and that's what I go by. And I'm living that patient life of enjoying life, and I'm happy. There's no bad moment for me. It may be bad. The crazy thing is bad moments for other people, but I can't allow other people emotions or actions to control my emotions, right? When you allow somebody to control your emotions, then what control do you have of yourself? Sometimes it's okay to cry. It's okay to share your emotions. When you share those emotions, they don't have control of your emotions because you're sharing them willingly and releasing those emotions. And they can't use it against you to make you feel a certain way because you're controlling those emotions.
Are you dating?
I go out on dates.
Okay.
I go out on dates, but I go on dates with an open mind if an individual is for me or not for me.
Okay. Like, what kind of questions you ask?
Ask those simple questions. So when we go out on dates, the issue with most men, they go out on dates and they think of one thing. How can I get this woman in bed? Right? I'm too old for that. I'm old enough. Done all that stuff. So when I go out on dates, my thing is, how compatible is this individual for me? Like, can me and this individual truly hang out, or can they come into my world and be comfortable, and can I enter into their world? So you start with those general conversations, questions. What do you do? What do you like to do? What do you do fun? And don't just ask questions about them. Say, this is what I do. Do you think you can handle that? Do you think this is something you ever thought about doing? Make the questions a little bit fun. Look, I believe in the 101 questions. I don't care what you do. I don't care if it takes weeks to ask those 101 questions. Ask them. And don't just ask them and let them go by you. Ask those 101 questions and intake every answer. Because out of those questions and those answers, there's an answer for you if this individual is designed for you, or not just designed for you, or even can be a friend to you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you basically saying you base whether or not you go forward with the relationship off of the 101 questions. You don't go by like birthday signs and none of
No,
that.
you can't.
Okay.
Because even though some of that stuff is true for individuals, a lot of that stuff is half true for those individuals. Yes, they can have the sign. Yes, they can have characteristics of that sign. But we must realize individuals are individuals. And there's no two individuals. Like, I can't think like Tyrese. I can't be Tyrese. I can't have Tyrese's spirit. You get what I'm saying? That's just an example. Just like, I got a cousin. I can't be my cousin. I can't have my cousin's spirit. I can't have my cousin mine. I can only have my own. Regardless if we the same sign, we may do things differently. You know what I mean? And you can't go by that, because even though they got the same sign, and it may show some characteristics that you like, but at the deep of it, if someone give you an answer that, I don't like people, that's a flag. And you're a person that associates yourself with networking with different people. Do you think they're going to interact in your circle well? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your favorite color is red. Oh, I hate the color red. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So would that person bring you a gift that's red because they hate the color red?
I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's deep.
So those questions are answers for you. And psychiatrists, that's what they do. They ask you questions to get to know who you are, a sense who you are.
Okay. So, far as date go, like, where will you go for your first date? Is it dinner, lunch? Is it daytime, nighttime? Like, what's the best, you think?
Well, most people like traditional stuff. They'd either go dinner or do the dumbest thing. I call it the dumbest thing is going to the movie theater, because you can't have that conversation. Okay. The movie starts like, shh, shh, shh. And then when the movie's over with, you're just talking about the movie. You know what I mean?
That's true.
A lot of times what I like to do is let's go to a picnic and sit down and have a conversation. You know what I mean? That's a good date. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you go to dinner, the menu can be distracting. You're trying to figure out what you want to order. Do I want this? Do I like this? So half of the meal is about your meal. Okay. You know what I mean? Is that good? How does that taste? You know what I mean? And a picnic leaves that open to you bringing stuff that you eat. He's bringing stuff they eat. You're sitting down, and then it's open with open air conversation. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that I like to do. Or I will, create games. Let's do a game. Let's find a game that's interesting where it says first. There's such thing as first date games. You know what I mean? And ask those questions. You know what I mean? Once again, go to somewhere intimate and like not so much intimate, but like a park.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Quiet.
That's quiet.
Okay.
So you can get to know each other.
Okay.
And from there, schedule your dinner date.
That's a good idea.
You know?
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe at love at first sight?
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put this out here. So I met someone, and when I met them, I knew what I saw I liked. When I got to know their mentality, I knew I liked. Everything that you think love is, instantaneous love, that's what I consider love at first sight. But love at first sight is not lasting. What has to be lasting is, do we really function well together? Can we really get along? So yes, I believe in love at first sight, but how does that continue? Is it just that first sight for that brief moment? Or is it something first sight and it's going to continue? You know?
That's a good answer. Good answer. Good answer. So, on my last show with Deborah,
right.
I asked her, do she believe in one-night stands, and would that work? Would it not work? What's your take on one-night stands?
Right. One-night stands does not affect the male at all. One-night stands affect the female a lot more. All right? Having sex, a female having sex, is giving a little piece of them, right? Penetration. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not being, I just have to go in this. Penetration and something penetrating. So the male is the person that's penetrating, the woman is receiving that. That's a little different, right? So you penetrating into their body, therefore their spirit. There's a connection that a woman receives than a man does. You know what I mean? So one night stands for men, they do it all the time. But that man hasn't made up that that's not the individual for them. You have that one night stand, there's only a 50-50 chance that he's going to deal with you again. Or that he's going to only deal with you on that level. Most individual people that had one night stands, guaranteed they didn't marry that one that had one night stands, but they have that memory of that one night stand. Females do. Males is just another checkbook. Another check mark in their book. Black books are still around. They may change. They may be digital, but black books are still around, and men carry them. And a lot of men use them as badges of honor. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I just went to this spot and met this woman, man, and we went to her place and boom, and it was down. To him, it was nothing. It's a check mark. To her, that she left, she's the one that's going to process it. Oh, was that the right thing I did? Should I have done that? Will I see him again? I'm not going to call him right away, but I'm going to call. Usually a one night stand, a woman makes the first call. If a woman makes the first call, it's a sign for not so disaster, but it's not going to go anywhere.
So you don't recommend it?
And I'm not saying that I don't recommend it. I'm saying, can you handle the harsh truth of it? Can you handle that you do a one night stand and when the guy say he's done, can you handle that truth? When the guy says, oh, we just doing this for fun. Oh, you caught feelings? Oh, I don't want that. See you. Can you handle the truth? I'm not saying I don't recommend it. I'm saying you got to be truthful with yourself. How much of that can you take and handle?
Is it a way that somebody can bounce back from doing that one night stand?
I think everybody can. I think women are the strongest individuals that...
No, as far as like it's a one night stand, he tell you like, look, it was just a one night stand. I want, can the woman like pretty much make up for it and they end up going in, he giving her a shot, or that's just it. It's no coming back from that.
If a guy gives a one night stand, it's a 50-50. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm a male and I know a lot of male friends. I don't know one of them ended up with a one night stand. Not one.
I mean, what's in your head? Like, if you do a one night stand with me, and would you just look at me as like, oh, she just do this with everybody? Like, what is the process of?
My thing won't be as that I did it with everybody, but you didn't give me that desire to desire it. You didn't give me that opportunity to really want it. You didn't give me that opportunity. See, a man likes a fight. A man likes to struggle. A man likes to know every now and then. Even though that no means, yeah, I still want you around, but you ain't getting this right now. You know what I mean? Most men don't mind that no. Most men don't mind that way to struggle. But also I want you to understand, most men, a lot of players can be patient. Very patient. You know what I mean? So it's not that I don't recommend it. Once again, are you willing to handle the truth?
All right, so I asked this question to one of my homeboys off air, and I asked him the same question, and he basically said, like, once he meets somebody, he already know if it's gonna be sex or not. So he said, you can have me wait 6 months, or you can have me wait that night. You can have me wait 6 months. I'm gonna get it in 6 months, and I'm still gonna leave you. Like, if I'm feeling you, if the chemistry there, I can do it that night, and we could be together for years. He said it's either the chemistry or not chemistry. It don't got nothing to do with the time.
That's correct.
Okay.
So most men react to women, the way men are captured or captivated by women is that chemistry. There's got to be something there to really say, wow, something about this individual.
It don't got nothing to do with looks.
It don't got nothing to do with looks. There's men that dates that are into what other women call she's ugly. Or you met a guy and this guy didn't want you and you think that's but it was something there for him. Not the sex, not the looks. It was something more there.
But they say guys are visual creatures. I mean, is that just to get your attention? But it's, to keep it, it's got to be something else.
But what is beauty in the beholder? You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
We are. But what is beauty in the beholder? What you think is attractive guy may not be attractive guy to another female.
So let me ask you what you attracted to then.
Oh, man. You want to put me on the spot. So usually I am attractive to women with intelligence, women that are that have a drive. My thing is I'm not so much a physical. You know what I mean? If someone ends up being physical gorgeous, like you, per se, if someone, to me, that's a plus. But I am a little shallow. I don't want a woman that's ugly. You know what I mean? I don't want a woman that's bad body, but I want somebody that I'm a little attracted to physically. But, I mean, it's that mentality. Can they handle and be on that same level as me? You ain't got to really be on the same level, but can you challenge me?
And you say the same level, that's just far as conversation-wise?
Degree-wise. No, you don't have to be degree. That's the thing. Okay. Can you challenge me?
Okay.
You know what I mean? A lot of times the level doesn't mean, you know how when you get to that next level, because you beat that level?
Yes.
So when I beat that level, can you give me another challenge? Okay. If I beat that level, can you give me another challenge? Conversation or mentally. You get what I'm saying? Okay. You don't have to have a degree. I mean, people came to a country that before there were degrees, there were trades. You learn things from other individuals. Degrees didn't get recent until almost 75, 100 years ago. The only thing that you needed a degree in was being a doctor. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Most everything else came a trade. So you don't need a degree to be on the same level as an individual. It's just, can you provide that intelligent challenge or that aspect that help fulfill my mental thrill and I fulfill your mental thrill? That's what I'm attracted to. That's me. I don't know how everybody else. And it's just a cherry on top if you look good.
Okay. So I post a lot on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And for me, and I think it's facts, financial is important for a relationship. But once I posted, it was a lot of kickback. A lot of people said financial is not a big deal. How you feel about finance?
I am an individual that I was financial well off. I got degrees. I can make money several ways. I think when you put financial as a vital part of a relationship, it's already a disaster to fail. Now, don't get me wrong. I think a man and a female should be able to pull their weight, but it should not be the main core of a relationship. Because if you make it, Will Smith said it like this: if he allow his financial level or achievements to be a vital part of his relationship, he's might well end the relationship.
Why is that?
Right? The reason is that's not what makes a relationship. That's not what helps you get through those good times and bad times. That financial is just a plus. Yes, we know you need a roof over your head, you need lights, you need water. If you got a car and you live on, you need that. If those things are taken care of and you see happiness amongst each other and enjoying life, financial shouldn't be a huge play involved. Statistics back in the day, statistics actually say most divorces are financial. Now that women are more independent, financial is not the issue. It's growth. Understanding each other is the issue now. Being on that level. Women make financial more than men an issue. Unfortunately, it's the truth. You know what I mean? They make it a bigger issue than men do.
I don't agree.
I think they
I
do.
don't agree with that. I feel that most men are more depressed and like unhappy if they not well off or where they want to be at, and that can like put stress on a relationship. On the woman.
I agree with that.
So I think they will cause more of a burden to the relationship. The men would, with they not being happy with how much they make, especially if the woman make more. If a woman make more, it's not that it's just come with it. More money kind of come with like who wear the pants. I
disagree with that.
If I'm paying all the bills, I'm gonna kind of say like I'm gonna need you to go ahead and cook and clean, like, because you feel like you the boss, you paying the bills.
See, but that's when you allowing, and like Will Smith said, you're allowing financial assets to be controlled of your relationship. Then the relationship is doomed. Most men, even if they're not happy financial where they are, but they working towards that and bringing in some type of finance and trying to get to another level, that's not a disaster. Because as long as you guys are communicating and he's chipping in and he's pulling all his weight, not half his weight, he's pulling all his weight to make you guys have a decent living. Because due to inflation, everybody's becoming middle class now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everybody's coming middle class, or you either poor or middle class. Rich is like beyond reach, to a point. You know what I mean? Not unless you get lucky or come an artist and get signed, all this stuff. But even signed artists are not rich. So I think that a male that's not happy is just not happy with himself, and he still need to build himself. Back to my when I talked about 101 questions, you know before you get into it if you ask those questions. And financial should be one of those questions that you ask.
Okay. And if I say I'm on a date and I ask, oh, so, how's work and stuff like that, and he say, well, I'm in between jobs. Should I put the relationship on hold right then and there? Like, don't pursue it? Or what's your idea or your thoughts about that?
If he says he's in between jobs, then you have to dig in. Why are you in between jobs? Are you trying to find the right fit? Are you investing? What is it? And that doesn't depend on the guy, because the guy can be in between jobs and happy.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But do you want that
Okay.
part of your relationship? That's that question. If it doesn't fit your answer, why waste your time with it? We're still back to my 101 questions.
Okay.
That question is your answer.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So, my advice from the first podcast I did was self-love, and then this one would be 101 questions. That's
I say, right, I'm leaving you with, you got to ask those 101 questions, right? Those 101 questions is also going to determine if you even ready for a relationship.
Okay. And these 101 questions is something that I have to sit down and think what's important to me, or?
Correct.
Okay.
That's how you get them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And they need to be 101.
And listen, my goal is, if you make it even, it's too simple. Make it odd, as difficult as can be. You'll get you. You know what I mean? You don't want to simplify it. And the odd number is always a good luck number.
Okay.
To a point, as long as you don't choose 13.
Oh. All right. So I guess my couple of last questions would be like, give me an example of one of the questions on the list of the 101.
Are you close to your siblings?
Okay. And why that's important to know?
That tells you how close they are with their family, or close with how much family means to them. You know what I mean? And usually siblings is different than mothers and fathers. Even though you don't get along with your mom, you're close. Yeah, I love my mom. But siblings can have that arrival where you guys are not talking for months. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
That tells you how you answer, how you deal with family issues.
Okay.
You know?
Should I, on the questionnaire, I'm going to call it that.
Questionnaire.
Should I ask any about past relationships?
Yeah. Say, and make the questions, simple. For say, in your past relationship, have you ever been cheated on?
And why would that be important?
Because that affects his mentality on how he answers back, is how he feels about getting in another relationship. Most men don't recover faster than women when they get cheated on.
Okay.
That's honest God truth. I don't care what man you are. First, we do this whole party thing. Yes, I'm free. I ain't got to deal with the drama. Right? We do that for the first 30 days. Then we break down. Then we go to depression. Women is a little different. Women start that depression mode, get built up, then they partying. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? That tells you if he's truly ready for a relationship, or he's just using it to be a rebound. Okay. So you want to ask those past relationships. You know what I mean? Okay. Ask those road rage questions. If a car pulls out in front of you instantaneously, how do you act?
And that would tell me what? His patience?
His patience,
okay.
And also how much anger he has.
Okay.
Oh, if a mother break on to me. Usually people who go off quickly like that are sometimes unpredictable when it comes to sensitive stuff that attacks them. On the first date, yes, they're going to be all nice and calm, but you ask those questions, how they truly act. Questions breaks the ice. You know what I mean? Questions get you to loosen up and answer without thinking. You only think that what truly is in your head. You know what I mean?
Okay. And I guess my last question would be, I'm a single parent.
Right.
Do do you think it's a good idea for me to only date other single parents, or what's your ideal on that?
Listen, back in the days, I got kids, and I said I didn't want anybody with any kids. But I thought about the process. If I get somebody with kids, that means they're learning with my kids. And I don't want no one to experiment with my kids. Most people with kids know, oh, if I get in a relationship, I don't want nobody to do that to my kids, so I'm going to make sure I don't do it to their kids. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So to me, it's either or, but if I meet somebody with kids, I feel a little bit more safer whenever it comes to that time introducing them to my kids. I know they understand, oh, my son done that. My daughter done that before too. I get it.
So more of like relate.
As a parent.
Okay.
And understand that you're not going to cross over my household. Like, this is the way I raise my kids. And most people understand that. Like, I'm not going to say, they'll say, hey, Jen, your son or daughter, such and such, just want to let you know, because I didn't want to get involved how you do it. You know what I mean? They're going to come to you instead of trying to handle it right away on their own. They're going to call you. Hey, I just want to let you know. You know what I mean? Instead of somebody who never had kids, who told you to do that? Do you know you ain't... Now they're yelling at your kid, and you probably never yelled at your kid. I'm one of those parents. I ain't never had to yell at my kids. I don't do it. And I don't want nobody else coming in yelling at my kids or cursing. I never in my life use curse words towards my kids.
Okay.
And when people realize that I don't curse, they won't even use it towards my kids. Or they're a little more mindful how they talk when I'm around. I don't never tell people to stop cursing. You start picking that up. Wait a minute. This guy doesn't, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right. That's a good answer, because I never dated someone with kids, but I think I'm going to be more open-minded when it comes to that now. So I guess, do you have any last words, advice for me, or to help anyone else out there maybe going through the same thing I'm going through with trying to find true love and true happiness?
My advice is motivate yourself to be good to yourself. Therefore, you can find that one that's going to be good to you. If you're not good to yourself, you're going to always find those individuals, and you're always going to run into that. How did I meet this person? Motivate yourself to be happy. Motivate yourself. I don't care if it's a bad moment. Motivation is the hardest thing to do in life. But when you start doing it as a routine, no matter what comes around won't affect you. And those that are negative and those that are trying to mistreat you, you recognize it instantly. And you move on with a smile. Hey, it's nice to meet you. Hey, you're not the one for me. I'm going to keep it moving. You have a great day. So motivate yourself to be good to yourself.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show. I hope you come and stop by again. Great advice. I'm going to take a lot of what you said and apply it to my life. So thanks again.
I'm not an expert. I just go by life experience and, those. So I think you're going to do good. I think you're going to do good. Like it says, you got to really know what you want from yourself. And that's part of self-love.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.